Hey friends, it's Sarah Noah Block, founder of Tiny Marketing, and this is Marketing a Tiny Bit Smarter, where we dive into marketing topics and give you actionable advice you can implement today. Housekeeping. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments and at any time. At the end of the session, we'll go through those questions. We see them right in our little comment section on live stream. StreamYard. And today I'm talking to Emily Ryan about email marketing. She is a Mailchimp expert and the co-founder of Westfield Creative, an email marketing and web design agency. She's been seen in Entrepreneur Magazine, big deal, and Thrive Global. Emily is passionate about helping businesses grow via email marketing, especially using Mailchimp as a platform. She loves teaching others how to simplify their email marketing and spend less time creating campaigns. Her team designs and executes email campaigns and newsletters for clients ranging from lawyers to coffee shops. To tech companies and e-commerce brands, she is a certified Mailchimp Pro partner, and I am so excited to talk to her. Email marketing is huge and has a big impact on your business, and I am excited to learn from her. I am pulling her in right now. Hey, girl.
Hey, that was so nice. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I have gotten a lot of comments while I was posting about this week about how excited people are to learn from you.
Ooh, yay. Well, I love talking email. I love learning about email. So yay.
Yeah. I've been following you on LinkedIn and I'm always impressed. Everything you write, I'm like, yep.
Oh, it's so fun. I wish I could just post on LinkedIn all day. Like that could be my job.
No. I swear, I've met the best people through LinkedIn.
It's awesome. Well, same thing to you as well. Well, good. Well, it's fun to hear.
Yeah, thank you. So can you tell me how you got started with email marketing?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So I was actually living in New York City for 11 years, and I was working for a small startup nonprofit. And I was kind of wearing many hats in this job, as you do in a startup. I was like office manager and the marketing person and like all these things. Yeah. And one day the CEO of the company was like, we've never sent an email about our product. We had a piece of technology we created. He said, why don't we try like an email campaign to see if we can get more potential donors, some big donors. And I was like, okay. And immediately I was like, okay, I think I've heard of Mailchimp, and that's literally how it started. So I'd heard of Mailchimp.
Familiar.
Yeah, I knew the name. So good job, Mailchimp, on your name. And then I created a campaign, and I had so much fun creating it. I've always had a kind of design background. I used to design greeting cards back in the day, and I've just always loved like graphic design. So I created a campaign and we sent it out, and we got responses back, and we actually ended up getting this huge donor from that campaign.
That's awesome.
A free, in Mailchimp, when you first sign up, it's a free account and doesn't take too much time to do. And we got a really significant donation from this email. So I was like, wow, this really works. So many years went by, and I ended up working remotely for that company. And then I started my own business. And when I started my own business, I was actually a virtual assistant in the beginning. So I did many different things for clients. We did social, we did whatever they had, we would do it. But every client we would have kept needing Mailchimp help. Okay, I need you to just like create an email for me. So eventually we're like, we're going to just focus on Mailchimp. And that's what we did. And we
followed after that.
Yeah. I think it just became clear, like when you niche down into something, I mean, ever since we said, you know what, we are Mailchimp partners, we became partners, working closely with the actual Mailchimp partnership team, that exponentially grew our business. And most people now know me as the Mailchimp Mailchimp girl. And so
How I know you.
which is good and bad because I get emails every day like, can I ask you a Mailchimp question real quick? Like, okay, Mailchimp question. Sure.
Yeah, we always can we hop on a quick call? I have a quick question.
Just hop on a quick call.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's awesome. I did not know that about your background. So a lot of it, so design was a big part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was a performer back in the day. That's why I moved to New York City. I was a singer and a dancer. But I've always been creative. I went to a performing arts school growing up. I've always had just like this, my mathematical brain is not great. Like I can't do, I failed miserably in like pre-calculus. Like I just don't, I'm more creative. But yeah, I love design. I taught myself Illustrator back in the day, and I taught myself Mailchimp and became obsessed with email design and what makes, I would literally study my inbox and see what brands are sending me. Like, I'll subscribe to J.Crew and Madewell and all these companies just to see how they design their emails.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, the templates make such a difference. So this is kind of off topic, but so email brings in a lot of different elements. Like you need to be able to write copy, design, it needs to be beautiful. You need to also be analytical to create those campaigns and how they're structured, how they drip.
Yeah.
So you started with design. How did you branch into all those other elements?
Yeah, and that is a great point. It encompasses a lot of things. And so much of my love for email marketing is that the data part, like creating this beautiful email and then seeing if it worked, like seeing if people opened and clicked and all the stats you can get. But I think it just came from a love of seeing how it can grow a business, like seeing how a simple, even a free email, you sign up for a free account, costs you no money, how that can literally make your business money.
Yeah.
So once I started seeing the power of what a campaign can do, we got obsessed with, we just love it. So a lot of it is just learning all the aspects. And you're right, like copy is such a big part of it. Being a great writer, you can't have typos. You can't have typos in email. And that's stuff we've learned over the years the hard way. You got to triple check so many things before you send a campaign.
Yeah. Who of us consultants has not had to learn the hard way on some things?
I mean, I'm still learning.
Right.
Yeah. We've all sent out emails where like you put in a merge tag, like the first name.
And it doesn't work.
Something's wrong.
Been there.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into the testing and, really having a solid process for that testing part.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think this relates to a lot of marketing. Marketing is a lot of testing something out, like coming up with a theory, testing it, possibly failing, tweaking, and then trying again. It's a lot of trial and error until you find what works for a specific audience.
Exactly.
So what made you go with Mailchimp over the competitors?
Yeah, great question. I think, because that's what I knew when I started, I just got obsessed with the platform and wanted to learn everything about it. But I think what changed for me when I became a partner, I was asked to join the partner program, and I started to get to know the company and the people behind it. And let me just tell you, it is the most amazing company. Everyone that is hired there, they're very big on hiring people that are humble, but brilliant. So like everyone is smart, everyone is really nice, and they're super passionate about small business. So the co-founders, Ben and Dan, who founded Mailchimp, they are both from families of small business owners. Ben's family they owned a nail salon, was it a hair salon? It was a hair or nail salon. But they love small businesses, and that you can tell that through their marketing. Their marketing is all about like, we want your small business to grow and to scale. But I also love Mailchimp because it's a really powerful platform. It's not, the name might sound fun and, whatever, but the tools that come within this platform are unlike really any other platform. I've used Constant Contact, I've used Klaviyo, I've used Squarespace email, I've used all of them, and they're missing so many of the important tools that I look to when I design an email. Like there's a lot of deep segmenting you can do, advanced segmenting in Mailchimp, a lot of stuff for e-commerce that's brilliant. There's just a lot, and they're constantly enhancing. It's a big company. It's 1,000-person company plus 1,000+ people, and they're constantly improving the product every day. So
yes, they just did a big update.
Yes.
So the interface looks completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different, but that's kind of what I love. Is it keeps it exciting, and I think they listen. Like their motto at Mailchimp is "Listen hard, change fast," and they literally listen to everyone. So they will have calls with us partners and say, "What do you need? What can we do for you? How can we help?" They go out and meet with their customers constantly, and they really listen to how they can make their platform better.
I like how they gave, like, if you don't have access to build out an automation, a drip campaign, they gave you access now to build it out, and then you have to pay to use it. But it gives you the opportunity to learn it and see if it works for your instance before you buy it, which they didn't do before that update.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
They have
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
They have a new it's called a customer journey builder, and
I saw that.
It's incredible, but it's really a game changer for automations. And you basically can make a roadmap saying, okay, if this person, you'll start everyone out here, but if this person buys the product, they will get an email, and if they don't buy it, then you'll put them this way, and they'll get this email, and you can kind of map out the whole journey now, which is
really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I always look at it that way from a website perspective, but email is a major component of marketing. If you're not doing it, you're losing out on like everything. Nurturing your customer for one. So that's an element that it's awesome that you can connect those two now.
Huge.
So something that I always love is building out a welcome sequence for new subscribers. What would you consider the perfect welcome sequence? What would you include?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. So a welcome sequence is absolutely essential, really for any business. If you are adding someone to your list, they should be welcome to your list. And I always recommend they get that first email immediately upon signing up, so that because they're right in the moment, they're signing up, they're interested, you're going to send the first welcome email. We always recommend a series, whether you call it a nurture sequence or a welcome sequence, whatever. There is no set rule on like how long that needs to be, like 3 emails versus 6 emails. I think the key is to really build something so that you can just start engaging people on a consistent basis. So one of my favorite welcome sequences is a company called the Peach Truck. Mm-hmm. They are based in Nashville, and they sell peaches. Delivery, you can get crates of peaches delivered every month or whatever. And their first email comes, and it's nice, and they're very simple emails. But the second email is like their personal story of how they got started. And I remember getting that second email like a day or two later, and I read the whole thing because it was such an interesting story, and it made me really connect to their brand. Like, okay, this is more than just peaches. This is a couple who they have a family, and they really believed in this and that. And so I love when a brand will tell you how they got started, or a story about why their mission or why they're doing this. So I think that's a great second email.
That is a good point.
Yeah, or like why are we here? And then I think to add even a third or fourth email to just really tell more about your company, maybe feature a product, feature a discount, whatever you do, just providing value in each email. I always love to include like interesting articles. So if you're a brand that sells plants, for instance, mm-hmm. That third email would maybe include some resources on how to keep your plants healthy, and just some interesting, useful things.
Yeah.
But there's no set number of emails that your welcome sequence needs to be.
Okay, so if we were to look at this, like your example as the 3 email sequence, it would be 1, just a welcome. This is like, thanks for joining our list. And then 2, the second email would be introducing themselves, their mission, giving their brand story. And then 3 would be either educating or offering some little extra, like a discount.
And same with email 4. And I think it's important to say with that first welcome email, it's important to really set the tone and let people know what they can expect going forward. So say, hey, we're so glad you joined this list, and we'll probably only email you once or twice a month. So just stay tuned. But really letting people know how often they can expect to hear from you is really important.
So setting expectations.
Yeah, it's super important.
Now, something I always go back and forth about is the cadence of an email of those sequences. How often, or what should be the spacing between emails?
Yeah, and that's a great question too. That there is no hard rule, and we always recommend testing this. I like to send the first email immediately. And then I like to think about who your audience is. I wouldn't wait more than a couple days to send the next one, but maybe give it 2 to 3 days to send the second one. I would say maybe 2 days. And then, maybe every 2 to 3 days after that. And then you could even throw in 4 days in between. You don't want to send too quickly. You don't want to send too far apart, but you can always adjust that. So if you're thinking, okay, that might be a little tight, and if you see people unsubscribing, you need to change the timing.
So that's a good warning. Change it up.
Yeah, and you can look at the whole series. So we have a series for someone that's like 8 emails, and around 4 or 5 people were starting to really drop off. Like you could tell those open rates just went way down. So I said, okay, we either need to really change that subject line in email 5, or we need to change the timing and say, okay, let's just wait a couple days. Maybe they need a break.
Yeah.
So looking at the numbers.
When you did that test, what ended up being the result?
Yeah, well, we're actually right in the middle of it. But I think it's a matter of just trying things. Like, I always will recommend a few things, like, okay, let's just try changing the subject line on that email, and maybe let's try adding one more day. Let's try adding one more day to the email, and then seeing what happens. Is there any difference? Does that open rate go up a little bit more, or not? So it's a lot of testing.
Yeah, it's a lot of management. It sounds like you have to be hands-on with it, at least initially. Like when you first start launching it, to make sure that it's actually resonating with the audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's tough because there's so many different things you can adjust and test with email, whether that's even your from name, are your emails coming from Tiny Marketing? Are they coming from Sarah at Tiny Marketing? Like that from name is really important too. So just so many things you can test.
Yeah, that makes sense. So is there a cadence change when it comes to like a welcome sequence versus a sales sequence?
Yeah, absolutely. So a welcome sequence is just that. It's you really want to welcome people to your list, maybe reward them with a, if you're e-commerce, like, you get 10% off your next purchase or whatever. But you have to really think about the goals of these sequences. Your welcome is, you want people to be glad they joined your list and to stay there and to stay engaged. So that should be your goal with every email in that sequence. Like, how can I keep people just really excited and interested? Whereas a normal drip sequence, a funnel, whatever, your ultimate goal is to make a sale.
Yeah.
So you really have to, obviously you don't want to be super pushy in every email. You want people to stick around for that whole sequence. And then email 6 or 7, you you sell your product. It's all about that goal.
That's a good differentiator too. Like with a welcome sequence, it could be 3 emails, but with the sales sequence, it's a little bit longer. Like a rule that I always see is 8. 8 is a good number for a sales sequence.
Yeah. I mean, and that should be tested. I mean, I have never found an exact rule, because every company, every business is so different. The mom and pop coffee shop down the street is going to be very different than, a tech company or something. So I think there are no hard, fast rules. And my best advice is just try it. Try 8 emails, try 5, see if you can do it in 5 emails.
Yeah. It's just test and test.
Yeah. It really is.
What's a mistake that you see a lot of people making with email marketing? It can be so effective, but if it's done wrong, you just turn people off.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are so many things that can go wrong with email. I think people overcomplicate emails a lot. If you go and really look at your inbox, look at some of the brands that you're getting emails from. And I'm just saying J. Crew because I got an email from them yesterday. They're literally an image, a fun image, and like a button to click and shop. Like, people overthink what an email needs to be. It does not need to be some long email with 6 different sections. I think the term newsletter makes people think, okay, I need to include lots of different sections. And we do that for a lot of clients, but I love just like simplifying, because no one has time to read these long emails. So I think the biggest mistake I see is people making too long of emails. And then the other mistake, we're big fans of like using lots of white space in our emails. So really putting space between, if you're using Mailchimp and use that drag and drop editor, if you put a button in, putting space above and below the button, like you want it to flow so nicely when you're looking on your phone or on your laptop. But I love emails that just make great use of the spacing, and things aren't smushed together. So really focus on creating space between elements.
That makes sense. I'm already, like, right now I have my blog template in my head for my emails and Mailchimp, and I'm like, I'm going to make this change and this change.
Yes. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, typos happen. I have emails with typos that happen, and that's just something that's like, always try to have, before you send any email, see if you can send it by one person just to read real quick. I always send my own personal emails by my sister. I'm like, can you just make sure this has no typos? Typos, making sure links are checked. Like, that's a big one. Yes.
That's the biggest mistake that I see is broken links.
Yeah. Well, you end up copying your template from the last one, and sometimes you forget to change certain links or whatever. So checking links. We have a checklist that's like literally 20 things you have to double check, which is hard. Yeah,
that makes sense. My cat currently is trying to make as much noise as possible in the background of this video.
I love it.
So can you tell everyone how they can find you online?
Yeah, you can find me. I am easily findable. So I am on Instagram mostly, and my name is Emily Ryan Likes, Likes, like I like your photo. And I post on Instagram stories pretty much all day, every day. And so I'm on Instagram stories a lot. I'm on LinkedIn, Emily Ryan. And our website is Westfield Creative. It's westfield-creative.com. You can also find us if you type in Google Mailchimp Experts Directory. We're actually now on the first page of the directory. So you can just check that out. And I'm around.
Awesome. Yeah, I started following you on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything that you're putting out.
Thanks. Same back.
This is the right handle, right? That I just posted? Okay, cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks. And feel free, anyone that has questions or whatever, feel free to DM anytime.
Yes, thank you for joining me today. I learned a ton. And everybody, remember to check out her website and follow her on Instagram. Emily is a genius when it comes to email marketing.
Oh, thank you. That is so nice. I'm still learning.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a good Friday.
Thanks. All right, this wraps it up. Thanks for joining me today. Next week will be a solo show where I will teach you how to use my one-page social media strategy that I use for all of my clients, and you'll get a little gift. I'll give you the template when you watch it. And as a reminder, you can work with me in a few different ways. I work with small B2Bs as a virtual marketing director, running everything for you. I work with marketing agencies and small marketing departments to support their content marketing creation. You can join these live streams as a guest. Just go to sarahnoelblock.com/livestream. And last, you can join my monthly marketing challenges where you will learn a new skill and implement it all in 4 weeks. Go to sarahnoelblock.com/challenge to get notified when that starts. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.